What's up, lore masters? Before I get into this video, let me be clear that this is not a character breakdown. Dukat will have his day, but I first have to finish Cisco and refine that series. What I'm going to be doing now is more a video that gives background and brushes up on the character. I feel like this is necessary due to the 180 of the series. This is also one of the prime reasons that I'm doing this, because Dukat will become the pawn in a larger theory that I'll be discussing much later. And, as I stated, the writing of this character changes him so drastically and impacts the story so much that if I were to continue on the series without addressing it, then the Dominion War would stop making a ton of sense. Getting down into it, Dukat, only ever known as that being his name, or Gul Dukat to signify his rank as captain, was a character intricately involved in the last stages of the Bajoran occupation. While the station Gul was excessively cruel, there is some evidence to suggest that the man may have been the Khan of his time, being much gentler than his predecessors. Allegedly, he removed child labor, increased medical benefits, and even helped the occupational work hours. He would also claim that his responses were always measured compared to those who came before him, rarely ever taking more than one life for every life taken by the Bajoran terrorists. I've discussed this before, but when I analyze Dukat, try to classify him, I see him either as chaotic neutral or neutral evil. The Gul generally goes where the winds take him and rarely lets any moral by our standards, judgments impact his actions. I do believe that he has causes that he believes in, including the superiority of the Cardassian race above all else, though these values would come at the expense of other races. Dukat would take several different roles within this series, starting as the antagonist, then moving to attempt to help fight the Maquis, then fighting the Klingons and assisting DS9, to the ultimate betrayal and joining the Dominion, and then his insanity break. The Dukat we came to know, before he went insane, does truly believe in himself, and I don't think he really had any need to want to hurt others initially. Don't misunderstand, I don't think he has any qualms with murder, he just doesn't actively have the desire. We also see the fight for his soul, if you will, as he tries to restore the Cardassia he once knew. Though, unfortunately, he would see Cardassia through nostalgic goggles, meaning that he was only ever destined to be evil. The ultimate break of Dukat would come after his daughter is killed and the losing of Terok Nor to the Federation for a second time. This causes him to go completely insane. He gives up his command and is captured. While the doctors state that the man had fully recovered, in reality he was deeply, deeply ill. The transport ship he was on for his enragement would be attacked and he would be able to ultimately escape. Alas, by this time, the Cardassian would begin to have mental delusions and become easily angered, even attempting to kill Cisco because the captain wouldn't consider him an old friend in the DS9 episode Waltz. The former Gul and maniac would then escape and become a tool of the Paw Wraiths. Of all the things I have ever analyzed, the continuity gaffes that I have mocked, this is probably one of the worst issues I've seen. And the reason it bugs me so much is that it was done so willingly. And the episode that I had discussed, Waltz, is so ham-fisted at the end, it's eye-rolling. It's worth noting that this change isn't a natural progression of the story. No, Dukat was going a place that the writers didn't realize and ultimately didn't like, so they forced him into another role. It's one of the most disappointing pieces of Ira's work, if you ask me. And I'll be honest, I know this one is a little bit shorter and I'm not giving a ton of information. It is just worth noting the change in Dukat so that you guys can better understand where we'll be going in the future. That said, there is a bright spot here. This occurrence would be the second clue to a third power that had emerged as a part of this war. One that seemingly had joined the Federation, but ultimately wasn't on their side. The war between the Federation Alliance and the Dominion would ultimately become one between the Federation Alliance, the Dominion, and the Bajoran wormhole aliens. Stay tuned. Things just got more conspiracy-y.